And going for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as per normal, just so everybody is aware, these meetings are being recorded. So, and we do have a quorum tonight. Do we have any other business that needs to be added tonight? All right.
We're gonna add something, but I think we took care of it.
We took care of it, yeah.
All right, so I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second
Been moved by Kathy and seconded by Jamie. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
I
Opposed?
wanted to add cameras to the other business. I know, I was looking and you moved on before I got plugged in, it's all my fault.
Cameras, all right, well, that is to other, into other business.
Adding to other business.
All right. All right, so we will jump right in to department reports. PD won't report till next meeting. What does City Hall have for us?
So I went to the 09 grant with Joe, for the park stuff. We should hear back from them in a couple weeks. It went okay. I had a meeting with the auditors last week about our last audit, still trying to push the subject. They basically kind of gave me the same answer, is just to do a adjustment of what they told me to adjust, and that we would deal with it at the next audit. That didn't really get me anywhere. The stop sign down by the middle school, the one-way sign. What was it, Jay? There's a one-way sign. There were some people on Facebook saying that
Oh, that's
the
by the elementary.
the elementary school, yeah, is there,
There was signage on every single block.
okay. People just don't,
I think it's just kind of blending in because
Lived here all your life.
I didn't know there was a
Recognize
one-way
this
street there.
I know because it does.
And still people go there.
Yes, they do.
Both ways.
Yep.
It's crazy that.
Yeah.
Every stop sign has the do not turn.
What about little, like,
or-
one of those little flashy, I guess that's,
I'm like, if it continues, I mean, we can just put the spike strips in.
yeah.
I don't pay that.
I think that's the best idea.
If you lived here forever, it's hard to,
Yeah, it's hard to
yeah,
break habit.
if you don't go down that way. you just don't-
Yeah. But it's the other one.
God forbid we put in another stop sign.
Yeah, let's
People
not.
are getting used to that.
I'm not ready
So it
for that
seems
yet.
like If you're using that road, you should be able to.
You have kids down there, the teachers will eventually say,
The teachers, they're telling them, yeah.
And the big community meeting is happening this week, I think.
Tomorrow.
That's all I have.
Where?
The high school.
Yeah,
6:30.
6:30.
in the commons. And I know I've stopped numerous people going the wrong way and I'm like, don't let me catch you doing it again. I'm like, I will take down your license plate. We'll turn you over to Winlock PD. And I think that they tend to forget that I've got security cameras on the front porch that catch license plates.
I guess you live right on the corner. don't you?
Yes, I do. Right there where they. Yeah. All right, so we will go ahead and jump into Public Works.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jake Crowe, Public Works Assistant. I apologize, I don't have anything to present on paper for you guys this week. I think we just didn't get around to it. I think it was kind of a fun week for us last week. But all in all, we've been focusing our time on running the screw press because we're getting full on both digesters. We've been making some tweaks to hopefully get it running more efficiently. Not in the sense of pressing more solids, but less mishaps. Seems to be working well so far. We've also been in the process of running interviews last week, and we decided on an employee last week also, and his first day was today. We did some parts of the training and showing him around the city and our facilities. And what was the last name? The fire hydrant, we were have received our equipment to test the fire hydrants, and we have been running some kind of control tests and testing our equipment to see what kind of numbers we'll be getting and what to expect. And we're also working on numbering our hydrant system so we can keep track of everything. That's all I got.
Did you happen to get, I know I had heard it on the radio just briefly, I didn't really pay attention to hear the date, but I did hear them talking about the meeting at Napa Vine for the apprenticeship program. Do you have any more information on that?
I did not.
Okay, I'll do some digging and see, because I know it's coming up and I know you want to be there.
Okay.
You said you wanted to. Like, does any- You guys remember that, right? I'm not misremembering? Okay.
Okay.
I'm not signing you up, I promise. Okay. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions for Public Works?
Yes, so power for aerator 1. We brought that, I'm using this as an opportunity to bring this up, so. Have you guys, it's on your radar, I put it on your radar as well, is it something you can look into?
Yeah, so there's a blower down. And
Blower,
yes, we will look into it. We ran a control test. We shut off the man, I can't remember what it's called. Pretty much the shut off, and we have and it hasn't thrown a flag yet, which in most cases it would. So we have nailed it down to between that shut off and the blower. And I guess we'll call somebody in now or run more tests depending on switching the motor. Like
Yeah, we talked about if you could swap it at the blowers, the blowers and they each have power, and the one was tripping last year and it's still tripping. So they're not using it, so it means we're down to really one.
And we, yeah,
Yeah,
Fix it, not mask
we
it.
looked into that and we can pretty easily swap something like this.
So you can get yourselves back up and running, okay, good.
perfect.
So is that gonna be an expensive fix?
I don't know, we'll have to look into that and give you more details. A lot of things at the treatment plant unfortunately are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, so we will go ahead and jump into council reports. So I will reiterate what Rachel said. We do have the big community meeting tomorrow. So please, I mean, the more attendance we can have, the better. I know that there's a lot of groups that come. It seems like the last 2 years have been the same people showing up asking for volunteers. No volunteers come. And hopefully, as the city continues to grow, we will hopefully get more people in who are wanting to volunteer, get engaged, join in. So, but that's what I have for the current. We'll move on. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay.
That's all I had too, was the community meeting, and I'll be talking about cheese days. My 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
They're strict too.
Yeah,
They'll shut
they
you
are.
down.
Yes. They've got the board,
I-
bleaching timer. What you got?
Let's see, I met with Public Works on their GPS needs. I think that we will hit a point where it'll be worth it to us. The one thing they did bring up is being able to get pinpoint GPS when the ground is open, like on the Callis Meadows. So that we know exactly where pipes are. That kind of does make sense, but that'll be at a time in the future when the money's coming in from that, so it'll help pay for it.
Yeah.
Let's see. A PSA for the big meeting, if there's gonna be multiple of us there, let's make sure we're careful and not make an open meeting.
Mhm.
The cameras, do we? Oh, no.
That's, yeah, you got it, yep.
That's it.
Hey, I don't have anything except for, I'd like to see you at our Wednesday meeting, because with a list of things that you think are gonna be, pretty big expenditures. So that we can get an understanding of what kind of grants we're gonna be looking for.
Right.
That's it. Okay.
Well, that's gonna be the big. Also, though, there's a ribbon cutting on April 1st for the new city block of Fleer Cheese Depot and the farmers insurance, so at noon. on April first. I think it's really cool. We actually have cheese in the family. And otherwise, I don't have anything. I don't, nothing. Hopefully it's a big meeting though.
All right, so we will move down to committee reports, and we know we don't have anyone from planning or park board here tonight. So,
So you can make an announcement that there are 2 vacancies on the park board.
okay, that's right there. So we do need members to fill the vacant seats on the park board, so if anybody is interested, and they meet once a month, so it's not as bad. And they're at, is it at 4? No, 6, okay, so,
And those 2 positions can be at large. They don't have
So
to be
they-
city.
so they can, yeah, they can be outside. And I will also post something up on the Facebook page too, saying on the mayoral one. That one,
Just park board.
okay,
2 vacancies on the park
Okay.
board and then posted on social media.
okay. Right, all right, so we will, no public hearing tonight, no special presentation. So I would take public comment on our agenda items. Right. So we will go ahead and jump into new business. Have you have the resolution? Got it. The first one is resolution number 316A, which is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Toledo, Washington, updating the 2025 cost allocation plan and establishing its effective date retroactive to January 1st, 2025.
Make a motion that we accept resolution 316A.
Been moved by Eric and seconded by Jamie, so we will go ahead and open it up for discussion.
So on the, unless anyone else wants to go first. So I'm assuming with like let's see, there's one of them. I was wanting to see how you chose so you've been doing whatever the best practice is how you got to these numbers.
Well, yeah, and what happened was when I did this during budget, I only really looked at the wages. And there were several things that still included the police department. And then the power was still split up, weird how they kind of had it done. So I had to change that. The new water sewer hookups, that's what we're doing right now. I'm still kind of waiting to hear back from Mike Johnson on what their kind of thought process is on it. So that was added in there. The copier and the garbage were done really weird. Like the garbage, they had it split several ways with the park too. So now it's just park pays for theirs and
then with this part-time person that's predominantly streets, did that adjust Cravens or Jay on their street? Because the streets fund is our core fund, and so if that part-time labor is freeing up.
I think we allocated for that when we originally did the budget. We looked at that. So I think if it's gonna be a longer term than what we had originally planned, that'll have to happen, but that'll have to be a budget amendment also. And then one thing that wasn't brought up is retirement after 5 months of working 520 hours. So that has to be under 24 hours a week. We do have to start paying retirement. So that I don't think we put in the budget. It's not for 5 months, so. But even at part-time, they make you pay it. So we'll look at that later down the road.
It'd be good to know what that cost is.
We'll follow back up with that, and maybe we
Is
can
that
get in there,
at
like-
24 hours a week or more than 24?
So it's once they. I think it's 72 hours after so many months, and it comes out to less than 24 hours a week. Is he just working 24 hours?
That's what.
Yeah, I'll double check tomorrow, so it might be fine, but yeah, after so many months and the hours, it's weird.
Well, doesn't permanent or temporary also come into play?
Yes, yeah.
What's the hour, what's the number of hours a week break that happens?
For temporary, that's,
For part-time.
part-time is 30 hours or under, but retirement doesn't classify it the same, so.
So on clerk treasurer, don't you still do some police department duties?
Very
coordinating with
little.
them?
Yeah, I mean, they call, I don't do, any admin work for them anymore. It's all passed off to them.
And technically the PD sits in the 001 fund, so
Yeah.
she's getting covered on that.
Okay.
I mean, if they need stuff, then I'm, there, usually calls me and checks in and I send him out to do stuff, but it's all the TAC officer side of it is very much on, I think her name's Heather. She does it all.
And on that vein, of course, it's not this, but when you have repeated barking dogs, are we calling you or are we calling?
Non-emergency, if it's out of code, yeah.
Okay.
That's the same thing I was complaining about to her yesterday is,
Because Kathy's probably going nuts about now with,
yeah.
Thought you were
with her neighbor dog.
Well. Gunner stops. When we talk to him. The new dog, we're just calling him Barker. And he's starting to respond to us talking nicely and his tail will start. But in general, anybody walking by there, two sides of that house. Yeah, they yapped at.
It's constant all over.
I know, I'm ready to go out on my
Fence
porch and
is
go.
bang.
Or you can knock on the door if you want.
You could what?
Knock on the door if you want.
We've talked.
What's
There are no longer 5 dogs there. Just 2.
our house? That's really what I'm saying.
It's your house.
There's 3 dogs. You're talking about the house on the corner, right? You're talking about our house, right?
Oh, I don't know who they're talking about. Yeah,
You're
You
not-
said Gunner, that was my dog.
yeah, that's what I was asking. It's like,
You're Jay?
Yeah.
This is, I didn't recognize.
Yeah, I
What's the new one's name, please?
Dixie.
Dixie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, and we're super friendly. Everybody, I hear people talking all the way around us. And all you have to do is knock on the door at any time. I heard things said about my yard, heard things said about all kinds of stuff. And nobody ever talks to me. I never hear it directly to me.
I tell you, Jay.
Yeah, you are the only, but
You heard it directly from me.
I mean, yeah,
There you
right
go.
there. I'll knock on, you can knock on the door and you can come in and have a beer if you want. I don't care.
At 10 o'clock at night, I'm not walking over to your house and saying, please shut up.
But we go to bed pretty early, so I mean, they're in our bed by 10 o'clock, so I'd be willing to bet on that one.
Yeah, it hasn't been a nighttime thing for me. It's just like yesterday.
Like, maybe-
Yesterday, it was
maybe
like 6
9-ish.
hours nonstop.
Maybe 9-ish, and I can close the dog door during the day if that helps things, that makes good.
Yeah, I didn't know what changed because it's been great for a long time. I mean, it was a problem and then it got better and then all of a sudden.
We adopted a dog that was abused by some people and she's probably still getting used to the neighborhood and stuff like that, and so she, like, literally, you can scratch her foot on the floor and she'll freak out, so it's ready to bark, so. She,
I'll use her name now.
yeah, so.
She'll be fine.
There you go. Problem solved. Do we have any
Traffic.
further questions on?
No, this looks good. I'm assuming, Rachel, that you're gonna continue to document it since they are hot to trot on this with the audit.
Yep.
They wanna make sure that you're getting the numbers right.
Yeah, and that's why I had it go back. It's right.
I was sitting there today, I'm like adding everything. I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay. make sure
Yeah.
there's Nothing.
Yeah, and I think what threw a little bit off too is because there was some numbers that were in there from before. And so when I was just running through the allocation real quick, I just did a quick look, and so I left those. But then when I got in January, I was like, those are wrong. So yeah, they're good.
So is this something, now this is amended for use for the rest of the year, is this something we need to get into again when we do budget.
Yeah, we do it every year for a budget.
Yeah.
If anything changes, if nothing changes, it's fine, but it's usually, I think last year it just kind of went into it. Into the budget, the main ordinance, sorry.
Yeah, it's part of the budget.
Perfect. So I'll go ahead and call for the vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, perfect. Motion carries. So, and then next we have the liquor license for the IGA.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for Market Fresh.
I'll second that. Gotta have that.
Been moved by Rebecca and seconded by Eric. Do we have any discussion, or I'll open it up for discussion rather? The only thing I had on that was I had noticed that there was two listed on there. I'm guessing we can go ahead and only pay attention to the one, not the one for the Thursday market that's on here as well.
It's for both of them.
Okay.
Do I need to amend my
I
motion
thought it hit that
to
here.
include the Toledo Thursday Market?
Yeah,
Yeah, because all it says right here was that market
Confused.
for
I thought it was. just
liquor
Market
license.
Fresh.
Yeah, that's all it said up on the new business. It didn't
There's
say
one,
anything about
two,
it.
Yeah.
So if you want to amend it, that would be great.
I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license for Toledo Thursday Market and for Toledo Market Fresh. Foodie company.
I will again second that.
Okay, perfect.
I don't have. Market.
It's right here. It's the top one. One.
Oh,
one's
there's
there.
two. Oh,
Yes.
You can almost see them.
Yeah.
So that Thursday market's a renewal? No.
No.
Yearly.
Yeah, it would have to be there because they're getting, they're getting ready to fire back up again. And we
Did
were,
they sell beer there last?
They were doing the,
they,
Yep.
yeah,
Tasters. I remember that coming in front of it.
yep.
For cider.
Yeah, there was a lot of hoops to jump through and insurance stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, there was a lot with that one.
Taken care of. Reviewed it last time.
yep. And there were no issues.
Nope. Do we have any discussion on that before I call for the vote? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? All right, perfect. Motion carries. No unfinished business, other business. I have two items. Because Rachel added one too. So we'll start with cameras.
So it sounded like we had, the park got vandalized again. And then when I asked about the cameras, it sounds like Rachel doesn't have access to.
Yeah, I
them.
can give you the sign-ins today. We can put it on your computer.
Yeah, I think Public Works should actually have it because
Yeah.
they need to be seen on the tokens and if there's any damage done down there. I think they're gonna need it more than we are. And then if we need, hey, look at the parks, we can have them go back and look at it.
And historically, it seems like if we're not paying attention to it, they just kind of stop working and we still pay for them.
Well, those are,
You know, it just
Yeah,
kind of seems like,
thankfully, yeah, thankfully these ones are up on the big.
it sounds like you have one.
there's only one right now again. So I don't know.
I'm gonna see if I can't have, I'll have Toledo Tel come out and look and see if it's their equipment or if it's the electrical, because that has been the issue since the prior system. They said that they have to unplug it and plug it back in, so I don't know if it's an issue with.
Oh,
on
that's right over
ours.
at the boat launch on.
So I don't know if it's an issue with the plug-in there that it's plugging into, or if it's an issue with equipment. So I will get in touch with them and have them send somebody out to take a look. So they may have to reach out to you to coordinate to get into the, so just keep that in the back of your mind.
What was the vandalism in the park?
It was like they threw a bunch of toilet paper all over the roof and there's mud all inside the stalls and kids were, I don't know, jumping all over and
It's just gonna get worse with spring break coming.
So is Public Works now responsible for reviewing footage and the vandalism? Is that?
No, I think she was
No,
talking
it'll
about
be-
with the plant. right?
Yeah,
That-
for like tokens,
You've got
if
cameras
you need
pointing
to
at the
see them.
plant.
Cause you,
With that, we now looking footage on just token incidents or what's the?
it'll give you access to see, like if you guys don't, hey, we saw that vehicle there, like.
or if
and
we're
when
like,
the-
hey, the park got vandalized at some point, can you check to see the cameras for yesterday at the park? Yeah, you guys would be responsible for reviewing that. Or you guys could put it on my computer and you guys can come up here every morning and check them that way. What do you mean? Both what?
I think.
You can only have access on one, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I think
only
You have,
one computer.
cause I know I gave you my login a while.
Then it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, you can only use one login, but I can give you all of that too.
Yeah, I
So
never
that-
successfully logged in.
Oh, so we can have them at 2 different locations.
It just has to be under one login.
Oh,
You
that's
can't
fine
have it-
then.
Yeah, yeah, that's. Uh,
If I had this in my public comment, can I jump in real quick, Rachel?
Yeah.
Do you have a retention policy for those yet?
6 months.
Damn.
Got him.
Damn.
Yeah,
I know we had discussed that before. Those issues with the county funds.
yeah, you brought it to my attention. I fixed it.
That was
Yeah.
a while ago. too.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, he brought it up right away.
Yep.
Caught us, because we wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have even thought to look.
Keep my eye out for it.
I know.
Appreciate it. Did you have anything else on the cameras or that was the
That
main
was
part?
it.
Okay,
Just wanted to make sure that people had access to it. and
yes.
That they're working.
Perfect. And then tree bids was the other one that we had to add.
Yeah, so I'm not sure the grant that we have for the loss prevention grant in the past has been $5,000 a year. So we did allocate that towards trees this year. I think we're only getting like 2,600 and some change. I do have to have my grant submission in by the end of this month. So I've gotten bids. They're kind of slow coming in because I'm basically sending them out there like what work needs to be done. So I've got 2 bids so far, and I guess, and I can choose, one, or I can bring them to you when I have them all, but I guess my direction is more is, do you guys want to spend the full 5,000? Are we pulling the extra money out of budget? We do have it in budget, so it would come from cash reserves. Are you guys just wanting to spend the 2,600? There's way more than $5,000 that needs to be work done there, but
Did we get enough taken down last year? For the $5,000 that we spent, or
no, there's,
Public Works seemed to think that maybe, well, not a lot was taken down.
there wasn't.
And I will tell you that after that storm, I went through and looked at a lot of them, and there is, I think, at least 3 trees that have to come down, or what's left of them.
And this one is a bid for 5,200 and it's got 3 trees coming down.
Did you talk to Integrity? Is that one of them?
I have to go through the MRSC,
He's not-
Small Works.
He's not
Yeah.
equipped.
Well, and I have to go through the Small Works roster.
He was a climber.
So if they're not, like the Obergs aren't on the Small Works roster through the MRSC, so we can't go through them.
I guess if they wanted the job, they could get themselves on the small works roster.
So, but that helps with like just seeing if they've been barred on anything. It brings up their UBI. It's super helpful. All the checks that I have to do for prevailing wage stuff, it's all right there.
I think
So I mean,
it's a
it's,
safety thing. I think we have to, right? I mean, we should.
and it's
Yeah.
budgeted, so, but more, I mean, it was more with the thought process of we were having the revenue coming in, so that revenue is gonna be half of what planned.
And I know the one tree that we lost just the top of, that one definitely needs to come down, because if any more of that comes down, it's gonna be ugly.
So you're saying the grant is for about half of what it's going to cost? and
Yeah.
you're Asking if we should go ahead with the whole thing, yeah. I think
Yeah.
That seems like a safety thing.
Park board money's gonna be getting all spent, which is good that we've got.
Well, at least we get almost half of it covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I
I
don't think that it's a lot of preventive maintenance has been getting done the previous decade or two, so that's why they're all in really bad shape.
Yeah.
yeah, so what, I'm gonna wait for one more bid, and then, I mean, they're all kind of different, like this guy gave me 2 bids, one for emergency work. This one says 15 trees need dead limbs trimmed or removed. 4 tree snags that need removal, I don't know what that means, but park will need to be closed, this
That
one's
number sounds correct.
the 5,300.
No, just the
The
15
numbers.
15 trees that need a bunch of limbs taken off.
Yeah, so this one is emergency work, 2 dead limbs with hangers, trim dead top and 1 dead limb, remove maple by horseshoe pits by the tree fell earlier, dead limb hanger. And maple,
Dead limb, that means it's up there waiting to fall.
yeah. Yeah, the park will need to be closed, space 9, dead top chunk, so, and then this one is removing 3 trees. Chipper removal. So this is just for removing 3 trees, this is for removing 1 tree and just getting those.
I like the sounds of that first one where there's actually calling out a whole bunch of
Yeah,
But that's not,
mean,
that doesn't include the emergency work, so that's about $9,000. I could try to see what I do and finagle it down a little bit, say we'll do both for like 7, but. And I'll just come back and see if I can get more money from y'all.
I'd be a fan of that.
Okay.
What do you all think?
Yeah, it's-
It needs to happen.
Yeah, we had to close the park down for a while because of the last storm that
Yeah,
brought a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
down, so, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of trees where they need, we can't have people during a windstorm in some of those spots, so.
And and again, like Eric said, you know, the tree maintenance had not been dealt with as it, had not been kept up on. So I think if we can get us to where we're in a good place, then the maintenance going forward will not be as bad. So it's, you pay for it on the upfront side versus damage on the back end that we're having to clean up.
Maybe
after.
reach back out to MRSC, it's MRSC, or is it, then, and let them know what we're intending to do, and maybe they'll give us our full 5.
Oh, that's the AWC.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I can-
We're trying
I
to
can-
avoid having, we got a lot of expensive
Yeah.
motorhomes coming in, and they might.
I have a question on that. Should we do anything, just general question, should we do anything preventatively in the meantime? Close down any spots, close down the park before if there's dead limb hangers and whatnot?
No,
That
I
might be a
don't,
good point.
yeah, and I'm not sure where we're at with, have we had any bookings?
Tim said we had one through the weekend.
Okay,
I think so.
because we're
And
getting
actually, that's what I was gonna comment on,
Mhm.
you can just make sure you let Carly and I know.
to block it out.
Well, when it's scheduled, so we can let you know if there's actually a reservation that's gonna conflict.
Mhm. But I see what you're saying, whether or not we need to close it down now before they can get.
But I can apply for this loan and I can have this guy start, this guy that, for the emergency work. He said he could start right away, so I can try to give him a call tomorrow and. If you guys want to approve me up to $7,000 if I need to go higher and have both of them done, or if you guys want me to just have him do the emergency work and come back,
How much is the emergency one?
4,042.
So how about we approve you to 7, and then if he can do the whole thing, then that's great, otherwise,
Come back.
What he
to
can't,
come back.
Okay,
or at least have him
So
get,
that way you're not giving him both jobs, even though he doesn't.
Yeah.
Work with you.
Is that grant a guarantee or do you have?
yeah, I'll submit for it tonight before I leave and I'll
And
probably
that's
hear from him tomorrow.
2,600.
Yeah,
And then,
Yeah, that is.
but you're gonna see if because we have what we have, if they'll pony up some more
yeah,
to help us.
and we could always use cash reserves for that. I mean, it's liability stuff.
Yeah.
So were
Yeah.
you suggesting that we know of a couple of bad spots that we shouldn't have people in, period? We should
which is.
block those off so nobody can reserve those.
I don't know of any in particular, I was just raising a
I'm-
question.
But yeah,
I haven't took a
You know,
full look at
if you
it.
say there's a couple of really bad spots,
These
just
9
make it so.
for
people
2,
can't-
4, and 9, they said have dead limbs over them, so, I think if, I'll dig into this first thing tomorrow and I can get them scheduled, and if it's gonna be more than a couple days, we probably shut those down.
can you double check and make sure we don't have any booked in there? Thanks.
Plug in.
Okay, perfect.
So just make it so they can't schedule those spots,
Sounds like you
Okay.
should shut down 2, 4, and 9, so we don't get.
Yeah, can we?
so they can't be booked.
Perfect. Okay. And I'm like, and if we remove them through the end of April, if we get done early, we can open them up, right? Okay, perfect. All right, so we are good on that. You'll submit that tonight. And that was the only other business we.
Mhm.
I guess I need to make a motion that
Yes.
Yeah.
7.
that we authorize up to $7,000 for tree removal
For both bids.
for both bids.
I'll second that.
All right. And moved by Eric and seconded by Rebecca to do $7,000 for both bids. I will go ahead, we discussed it, no further discussion, I'm assuming. Okay, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. Good to go, motion carries. And then. And then we will do, and open it up for public input. We're waiting.
For the record, do you know, are you allowed to tell me who you hired?
I don't know, am I, man?
They're officially hired now, right?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
So it's public record.
His name's Connor Edwards.
Sweet.
Mm.
Awesome. And then I just wanted to thank you for bringing up the OPMA concern if everybody's going to the big meeting. If you guys are not discussing actual city business, you could all go together and hold hands and skip in and out of the building. It's one of those.
It's all about perception, Kyle.
Exactly. Yeah, we cannot, no, that'll be all over Facebook.
It does actually, it does get a little subtle where if somebody's talking about something that you're passionate about and three of us start speaking up, you've gone way past that boundary.
Guys, do not talk about cheesecake.
And we did very good last year about kind of
Mhm.
being
I know
in
that
different
the county struggles
locations.
with that on a bigger level because like there's only three of us and when two people show up.
That's
somewhere,
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane, yeah.
My only other comment was that you guys probably got a written comment from me for some other stuff with the CJTC. It is a much broader regional law enforcement thing, but if you read it and you have questions.
We're putting it in the next one.
Yeah.
Cause that way we didn't squeeze it in, they wouldn't have had a chance to look at it, it probably
What
wouldn't have
is
gotten looked at, so we'll put it in the next
CJTC?
one.
It's the Criminal Justice Training Center. They're the folks that do the actual certification for all law enforcement officials in the state. And so it's just, I've dealt with some stuff with them for a couple of years now, and if you read it and you have any questions, either individually or as a group.
Yeah, it'll be in your next agenda packets, I just know squeezing it in last minute, it probably wouldn't have gotten the attention that I think you were looking for, so, yep. it should be there.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything tonight?
And those three.
Yes.
The three campsites are now hidden from.
Perfect.
Thank you. Right, I would, well, no executive session tonight, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
And moved by Eric and seconded by.
Wait.
Did you have the ESC?
Oh, that's
thing?
just
Just
informational.
information, okay. My apologies.
I'm like, wait, oh, okay. All right, so again, it was moved by Erica, seconded by Kathy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, meeting adjourned.